Hey, it's Imran Siddiq and welcome back to Web Squadron! This is a follow-on video to one I did yesterday where I was talking about the page speed insights. You know, it's really important for your desktop and your mobile, especially with the Google Core Web Vitals. Now, what I concluded with was that when you're looking at it on a desktop, you can hit 99 or 100% with careful thought. But on the mobile, because of Elementor Pro and lots of features, sometimes you are going to struggle to hit over 60 or 70% unless you use some premium plugins like WP Rocket, or some people use Nitropack. I am not a fan of anything that, in my opinion, cheats the system. Hit me, you can say whatever you want to me, but that is what Nitropack is doing, and I think you will get punished for it eventually. Anyway, so using some premium plugins, or lots of plugins on top of one another, you can hit a higher score. But what I also found is that some videos out there, when they are showing how you can hit 90 to 100%, there's very little content on the page. It was just like an image, a header, and that's it, and a bit of text. Or it was just a 21 theme, so very plain. And I again felt that's not a real true reflection of like what we are achieving or what we want to achieve. Now, I spent a lot of time last night banging my head and going, there's gotta be a way. And guess what? I think I found it. And I think I found something that you're not all going to agree with. And I'm a little bit like, well, I don't really care. Well, I do care, I'm lying. But it works for me. And it could work for you too. Let me explain. So when you are assessing your website and you go to page speed insights and you get your scores, things that will be important will be the first contentful paint, your largest content as well, which isn't all just images, by the way. It can be bits of text, bits of images, content on the page, basically, your speed index, your time to the first byte, which is affected by your server as well, by the way. It's not all down to your website, so bear that in mind as well. Is there any cumulative shift, on the page? So you might have some text load up, and then the text changes to a different size, or you might have a button or an accordion or something. Anyway, without going too much into detail on that, these sort of things will have an impact. So what I did is I decided to do an experiment. Could I start with a complete blank, fresh installation of WordPress, nothing on it, WP reset, totally cleared out? What are the scores I'm getting on page speed insights? You're hitting 100 on the mobile, of course. And all of the scores are coming in at like 1.5 seconds, which, there's always going to be a little bit, but it was 100% for the mobile. And the desktop, yay, everybody smile and be happy. I then installed the Hello theme, okay? The most basic theme you're going to get for Elementor. There probably is something even more basicer, but the Hello theme, again, 100%. And I'm still hitting 1.5 seconds for first content paint, largest image and things like that, all of that. Fine, 100%. I then installed Elementor and Elementor Pro, the latest version, by the way, which at the time of this video was 3.3.1, I think, something like that. Again, 100%. You're probably going, hold on, you just installed Elementor. You can't get 100%. Well, yeah, I hadn't actually built any content. It's just installations. I then installed some additional plugins, which I will come on to later. I did not use them. I activated them, so they're working, but I hadn't done the settings yet. Again, 100%, 1.4, 1.5, 1.4, 1.5 on all of those little insights that you would have got on your page speed. So everything was good. Then I added an image. Okay, when I say add image, I meant to the media library. Sorry, I should have said that in a less effective way then. I added images to my library. In fact, let me just go to the library here. I added in some images, okay? And some of these images were quite big, full screen images. And some of them were, pretty big. And then just some small images like for logo. And what I did was I went into my theme. I did indeed customize, there we go. I went into my site identity and I just basically set it up. Oh, you're getting a sneak peek on screen. Do not look at this bit. Just setting up my site identity. basic stuff, okay? I then ensured that I activated in Elementor settings. I went to experiments. I ensured that my DOM output, my improved asset loading, and my accessibilities were all activated. Okay, cool. Then I went to templates. Sorry, not templates. I'm jumping the gun here. I then went back into my plugins, okay? And after I installed the images, I then converted my PNG to JPEG, and then I I'm getting my words mixed up here. I then converted the image to WebP as well. So I just want to show you the two plugins I use for this. If I go to add new, okay, not a lot of people are aware of these, but I used the, type it right, dude, what are you doing? There you go, ping to JPEG, okay? This plugin here, it's totally free, and what it does is it converts your PNG to JPEG. Pretty simple, and believe me, it can make a killing on the amount you cut away, and I'll show you that in a moment. And then I then installed by the same company, image to WebP, okay? And it is that one there, images to WebP. Again, it just converts it to WebP. There are loads of them, all right? There's WebP Express, there's EU Image Optimizer, and there's Imagify as well, and WebP Converter. There's loads, but I kept finding that this consistently worked for me. This one here, images to WebP, because I sometimes found when I convert an image to WebP, when I'm looking at my page speed insights, it still said convert to next gen for some images. And I was going, but it's converted. Why are you saying this? This one, I don't get that issue whatsoever, and it's totally free. It is up to you what you want to go with. Right, if I just go back to my media library, if I pick this image over here, no, not that image, let's go for this one here, okay? When this image is loaded initially, it is 2.2 megabytes, okay? I just took it. It's an image created in Canva, and I imported it in, okay? When it, after it's been optimized. After it's been optimized, it comes down, okay, to about 800, 780 kbs. When you do the PNG to JPEG, look at this bit here. 605 kilobytes was wiped off. Okay, so even after optimizing on tiny PNG or whatever, from 2.2 to about 700 odd kilobytes, that shaved off an extra 605. Yes, it is 163. Yes, that is still relatively big. But then that image at the 163 point is then converted into a WebP. And I don't want to quote on how big it is, but it did it. Okay, sorry, long story short, so that's what I did that. I then went into my templates, save templates, and I created a header. This header is nothing more, if we just view it, it's nothing more than just a logo and a menu in the right hand side, which has just got one page at the menu, just a logo. That is it. Pretty simple, yay? Okay, now at this point, and I'm just looking at my notes, okay, when I then viewed or did the score for my page, this is what happened to the score. Okay, so this is the score now of my page after I have now got a brand new page, and all it is showing on there, no content, is just the logo and the menu. Logo, menu, okay? Pretty simple. My score went from 100% to 73. First content full paint 4.2, speed and exit. Look, you can see the scores, okay? And I was a bit like, really? I mean, look, it's here. Look at that. There's nothing on the page. That is a 150 by 150 size logo. It's been converted to WebP. What is going on here? You know, and this point is when people start worrying, going, right, WP Rocket or Nitropack. And again, don't go for Nitropack. This is where I then started thinking a little bit differently. And I went to town on so many plugins. Swift Performance, Clarify, you name it. SG Optimizer. I am using SiteGround, by the way. And SiteGround Optimizer, whenever I use it, I will not get over 70. I might be between 60 to 70, but you never go over 70, and it is gut-wrenching. Okay, right, so remember that page, okay? Well, just stare at it for a bit and imprint it on your mind. Okay, cool. So what did I do? this is where I then use the other plugins that I've got installed. So we know about PNG to JPEG and we know about images to WebP. I then went into the WP fastest cache plugin. Okay, and I went into settings and all I did was tick all these items where I can tick, basically. All right, someone out there is probably going to put a comment and go, you don't need to tick that box. Well, I did. Okay, I ticked every box. And when you tick this box here, preload kind of thing, it will say, do you want to do it on pages or, well, let me just show you. If I do that box there, it says, what do you want to preload? Homepage, post, categories. I just did homepage for now and clicked OK. All right, that is it. You can't use any of these other options because you have to pay for it. But basically, that is it. And then you hit submit. Then I went into Autoptimize. I always say Auto-Optimize, but it's Autoptimize. Again, these are both free. Remember that. These are free. I went into the settings. Now this one, you just have to have a bit of a think about, okay? When you go in, I activated the optimized JavaScript code, aggregate JS files, and also aggregate inline JavaScript as well. Down here, I did not touch anything. It's already preload certain things instead. I left it as it is. So 3 ticks, leave that as it is. In the CSS options, optimize CSS code, aggregate CSS files. By the way, you're probably going, yeah, we know all this, but believe me, there is something I did which I have not seen on any video yet. And it may exist, so I'm sorry, but I did not see that. When you see what I did, you're going to go, whoa, I have to try that. So optimize, aggregate CSS files, also aggregate inline CSS as well, okay? Inline all CSS as well, okay? So look at what I've ticked here. Now down here, it also had WP content uploads, I think it was. Was it WP content? Yeah, WP content /uploads. I removed that from here, okay? Because I do not want to exclude the CS. I don't want to exclude that from Auto-Optimize. I want anything I've uploaded to be included, okay? So I did, that was present here. I think it was something like this, WP content upload, something like that. I deleted that out, okay? Delete. All right, got rid of that, okay. HTML options, optimize this. I clicked it and left all of these ticked, and that was it. And when I hit save changes and empty cache, oh, it's always good to do that every now and again. I then went into images, okay, and I said lazy load. Now this is a feature you might not realize, okay? Lazy load images, I ticked it. Now when you tick it, in fact I'll take it off, all right? This is what you'll see. I then ticked it, and I then said lazy load, and it will always be set at 0, by the way. I put in 4. You can change this to 3, 4, 5, whatever you want. What this means now, lazy load after the 4th image. Okay, so if there's an image above, like the logo in the header, and there's another image on the page, and this is all within, before, above the fold. So what do I mean by that? When you're viewing your website, okay, that is above the fold. When you scroll, that is now below the fold, okay? So you're going to have your logo, you might have an image over here and something else. I am saying do not lazy load them. Because if they lazy load, they take a little bit longer to load. That adds on to why you'll have a delay on your largest contentful paint. The time to interact. Because you lazy loaded everything. So I'm saying don't lazy load them. Force them through. Get them on the page. After that, the 4th item, whenever that is, I don't care if you lazy load them, that's fine. Does that make sense what I'm trying to say? Again, this is not the groundbreaking thing I'm showing you. This is just textbook, right? Save changes. Now, extra. On this page, okay, a lot of people will tick this. Combine and link deferred in head. Fonts load late, but are not render blocking. Includes display swap. Don't get me to explain what that all means. I don't speak Latin properly. But anyway, a lot of people go for that. And I tried that. And you know what happened to my score? It went from 73 to 74. What? 1% increase? That's a bit rubbish, isn't it? You might as well just take this plugging away. It didn't really do much, just added bloat. So I tried experimenting a little bit, and I did this. Remove Google fonts. And I bet the whole world right now, it's a bit like Alderaan, you know, imploded everywhere. What are you doing, dude? Why would you do that? Your whole website's going to break, nothing's going to work, none of your fonts will load. I did that last night. I've checked my website numerous times on my MacBook, on a separate Surface Windows machine, on a Chrome, on my mobile. Nothing is broken. Everything is working fine. I've purged the cache zillions of times. Everything is fine. Because in Elementor, we already have Google fonts, don't we? It's already in there. So I've said remove Google fonts. What does that do? Anyway, let me show you the results. But before I do, let me just take you to the actual page we're assessing. Okay, so that's basically me going through what I did with the plugins, right? Let me just go to this page. Because it's got a header, it's a very plain header, but it's got a logo and a menu, and it's not a full menu, but come on, give me my due, I'm just doing some experiment. Yes, this is a rubbish looking page, but I just did it to get something on. I've got, you know, a section with a big image. You know, it's a full width image, you know. I've got a header, I put a button in there, I put some text in there. I could have made that text a white font text or whatever I wanted to, you know. I could have added shadows, whatever. I'll come back to this grey section in a moment. And then I added in some more header button text. I did a duplicate down here, text again. I did another little area here. You probably can't see it actually because I think I took it off at the time. There you go, just, you know, background as well. And then another button section, text, blah, 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 blah. Another section, image, button, text header. And then I just put a section in with a big image in. Okay, this is the really big image I put in, right? There we go, look at that. Whoa! Don't you love this image? I created this in Canva. It's unique, it's bespoke. Anyway, now for the mobile view, I created a slightly different section. This is a section for the desktop and the tablet. This is the one for the mobile, and the reason it's slightly different is when we go to the mobile view, and let's just put this at 378. Okay, you can basically see, look, here's the content all below, right? And that is the desktop section hidden. Here's the mobile one. I just slightly modified it, and the reason I did that was I just changed the image. So I had a smaller sized image for the mobile, okay? This is the full width image, or the full width, big image. This image here, if I just show you here, it is this one here, and it is 400 by 225 pixels. Whereas this one on the desktop is bigger, okay, for the quality and the way you can actually see the difference in the sizing. Desktop, there you go, mobile. Yeah, get the idea? Okay, and that was it. That's all I did. And I know I'm not trying to make out this is an ultra complicated page with images and accordions, whatever, but what I want to show is there is content on here. This is more than what you will see on a lot of example YouTube videos out there. But the key thing, remember, I removed Google fonts, okay? So let's now just go over to page speed insights, page insights. Here we go. Okay, let's just put our page in and let's see what happens when we run it. Okay, so we are just going to run that and let's see the results. Boom! What? 98%? I mean, look, 1.1%, 1.1 second, 3.2, 0 cumulative layout shift, yes, total blocking time, I wish that was lower, but hey, and then, let me run it again, so let me show you the results. So here's the result 1, and here's a result I actually ran earlier as well, and it was 97, and look, same image, same, you know, rubbish little layout, whatever, but look, 1.1, 1.8, 1.6, that is 170, 3.2, yeah, alright, you know, a little bit, I'd love it to be smaller, but, look, 98, desktop, 100, over here, mobile 97, desktop 95, why is 95 over there, why is that, that's a bit weird. Sometimes though, I will say this, okay, I will say, I am using SiteGround, and sometimes I could run this, and there'll be a bit of block going on, time to the first byte. And sometimes I run it and there is no time to first byte. So I always like to run it 3 or 4 times and just go, what is the most consistent score coming through? And I will take that one. And we look down here, look, what is it saying about opportunity? The opportunity for me here is I could optimize this script here. Well, I don't even understand what the heck that is. It's to do with the Autoptimize plugin. I'm going to let it go. Look, I don't know how much more I can say about this before I suddenly lose my breath or keel over, because I am actually feeling very hungry, so I want to go in and grab something to eat. But we just did something really, really amazing. Okay, I've just used some basic plugins which are free. Okay, I'm not using WP Rocket. I'm not using Nitropack. Okay, don't use Nitropack. Okay, nothing against WP Rocket, by the way. It's just you've got to pay to use it. And someone is not going to like what I've done and they are going to criticize me. And I say, put it in the comments. Be honest. I love to hear from people, good or bad. You know, the unknown. You know, let's talk. But Auto-Optimize, WP Fastest Cache. I did find that when I take this off, the score doesn't move that much. But for some reason I left it on because it made a difference of a couple of percent sometimes. I don't know. I just left it on. I might experiment a bit more with that. But definitely here. Convert your image to a JPEG because JPEGs are smaller than PNG. Then convert that to a WebP. Works all the time for me. Auto-Optimize or Autoptimize. Go through the settings. But the key setting, and I am sure someone is going to have something to say about this. When I activate this, the score goes whoop, 75, 70%. I remove the Google fonts. We are right up there, people. Right up there. I'm running out of things to say about this. Well, look, I really hope that helps. And I hope it helps you to understand that be careful of the bloat. Be careful of putting too many things on your pages if it's not needed. Think about your layout. Think about what might look good on a desktop. Modify for how it looks on a mobile. But go through these settings and you will hit close to 100% for your mobile page speed insights. Google Core Web Vitals, I see you. Like, subscribe, and I'll see you soon.